Hi everybody, Claire with ClaireVoyant Psychic Medium here. And Erika.
With Erika Layne, Astrology.
Yay. We're going to start off because we've been having a lot of questions on this YouTube channel about like what we do and how you can reach us. I made sure to include in the description all of our links and everything now. Thank you to everybody that was on our ass about that. We are not good at this sometimes. So, starting off, I guess I'll talk about what I do. The main gist of what I do is Reiki. So, I have a works package, which is all of the stuff that I do all together in one. So, I start off the session and I do a birth chart reading. Then I do your chakra clearing, energy cleansing with Reiki. I tap into your past, I tap into your future. I do a medium session, I do a crystal reading. And then I do a tarot reading after that. So it's a 2-hour session. I can do this over the phone. I can do this in person. I'm based out of Omaha. So that's the main thing. I do medium readings. I do house cleanses. I do tarot readings, astrology. I think that's it. So if you would like to check out any of my stuff, all of our links and everything are listed. So check out all of that. And then here is Erika's.
Hi, so I am an astrologist, and so if you go to my Facebook page, you can click on book now and see all of the services that I offer. When it comes to astrology, I have plenty of different options to choose from, whether that's you trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, or you trying to figure out how you can best work with somebody else in a relationship standpoint, or this could even be you trying to figure out things from your past, how to move forward. Pretty much any aspect in life, I can give you some very insightful advice based on your birth chart on where you are right now and how to move forward with the energy that you are being culminated in the universe. And I'm also working on other projects, but basically my whole spiel and gist in life is to help grow people.
Yeah. All right. So today we're going to be, I guess this podcast, episode 4. We're talking about astrology. We had someone ask, like, just what's the basics of astrology. So we're going to kind of kick it off with that. I'm going to let Erika kind of run the show. So what are we talking about?
So just a little preface. Is that how you say it? Preface or preface?
I say preface.
Okay, so just a little preface. This is not going to get deep at all into astrology. So this is very, very basic. So if you are just getting out into the curiosity of what is astrology, then this is the video for you. If you are already slightly seasoned, then this is probably not the video for you, unless you want to kind of like recap. We're going to kind of like be very general about everything, but wrap it into a nice little pretty package that will just kind of give you the tools to get started on your own research. So let's start with the very first question, and that is, what is astrology? So Claire, what is astrology?
So I guess astrology to me is, oh man, there's so much to talk about. Okay, like, I guess it's just the like snapshot of the sky when you were born. So all of the placements and everything that make up a person is all kind of, you're going to explain this so much better. You tell the definition. I'm sorry.
Well, no, you're right. It is. So in my opinion, astrology is what she said. It's a snapshot of the sky. So whether that be the snapshot of the sky the moment you were born, the snapshot of the sky the moment that something big happened in your life, or even in this present day moment, what is the snapshot of the sky? Basically, everything moves in cycles, and so do the planets up in the sky. And, you know, if you've heard the whole phrase of as above, so below, so as these planets are going through their own little cycle in the sky, so are we humans within ourselves and within humanity as a whole, all going through these cycles. So that is what astrology is to me. It is the study of these cycles and how it is affecting the cycles within you.
See, so much better. I was just gonna pull something out of my ass.
Well, but you're right when it comes to the birth chart aspect. That basically means that you were born at this point of this cycle. So this is the personality traits. And I don't like to focus so much more on the personality traits, and I think that that's where your strong suit is describing that. But basically, it's this is the human that you were made out of in the stardust of the sky. That's giving you all of these necessary tools and stuff to live your life like in the most purposeful way that you possibly can. And when you dive into that, you're diving into your own psyche and basically actualizing yourself on who you are, so you can move forward with the most grace.
Okay.
Okay, so You think that sums up the first question?
Yeah.
Okay, so then for the big bulk of this video, because this will take a while, we are going to explain the zodiac and go through each individual sign. So the zodiac is a wheel, and the wheel starts with the sign of Aries and it moves through the wheel to the sign of Pisces. And just to kind of be basic, I guess, with this wheel, when it starts with Pisces, this is where you also get the modalities that we'll talk about. So it starts in Aries, that is a cardinal sign, moves to Taurus, that's a fixed sign, moves to Gemini, that's a mutable sign. So you have these three, they're like quarters of the wheel. And each quarter of the wheel inhabits a air sign, an earth sign, water sign, and a fire sign, and a season. Same with the moon. The moon moves in cycles, so you have a new moon, then a quarter moon, then a full moon, then a quarter moon, then a new moon. So it's just
all kinds of cycles and cycles and cycles.
Cycles within cycles within cycles within cycles.
Yeah.
So, I think that sums it up, and we'll talk about the modalities and elements and houses and everything of each sign. So, let's start with Aries, and I will take it to you for the personality of Aries, and you can talk about how you know.
Okay. So just Aries, energy in general, I guess. So most of you guys know I am an Aries moon, so I'm very comfortable with Aries energy. We are the warriors, the trend setter, not trend setter so much of like, we start things. We are the ones that are like, okay, let's get going, let's go. And because that's the cardinal energy to push you, to make you ram through shit to get to whatever you need to get to. Yeah, so Aries people, if you are an Aries like sun sign, more than likely you come off very strong to people. If you're an Aries rising sign, it's exactly the same thing. You're going to come off way strong. You're going to intimidate a lot of people, kind of a feel. Most of you know that. Like, if you know an Aries, they are proud to be fucking Aries. And I'm an Aries moon, and I'm proud to be a fucking Aries moon. But the thing that sucks about it is you have to think, this is the first sign. These are the babies. So with me, as my Aries moon, I'm a toddler when it comes to my emotions. Full-blown baby fits happen. I know exactly when I'm throwing a full-blown baby fit because I'm an Aquarius. I'm the 11th sign, and I'm dealing with toddler emotions. So it's annoying a lot of the time. But those of you that are just Aries sun signs, you guys get yourself into crazy-ass situations a lot of the time where you ram yourself into it and force things, and your anger comes out a lot more. You come off very strong to people. What are other traits about Aries? If you can hear someone in the background, Bailey sitting on the dog bed, putting her 2 cents in, saying that Aries are crazy. But yeah, I can't think of anything else right now, I guess. What else do you have to say about that?
Okay, so Aries is a cardinal sign, and the cardinal modality is very action-oriented. It's the one that has the brand new ideas, starts something new, pioneering spirit, goes where no one else will go. Action, yeah. Aries also is ruled by Mars, and so Mars is also the planet of sex and aggression and primal energy and passion and rage and war. Also, it is the very first house of the zodiac wheel, so this is where everything starts. So not only is it a cardinal sign, but it's the most cardinal sign. So if you think of a whole year, Aries season is actually what starts the new year. And I feel like when I've talked to people, it's weird because yes, we have the new year in Capricorn, which is also a cardinal sign, but it feels more new. It feels more like a beginning of a year once we get to Aries season.
Just spring and flowers and new beginnings, and yeah.
Which is when the spring equinox happens as well. And so anyway, Aries is the first house, and the first house deals with yourself, your identity, how you think about yourself, what kinds of things you want to do for yourself. So this would be kind of like this is how I look at myself in the mirror, and this is how I see myself talking to other people. And so Aries would be like this, like if you wanted to fit things into that house, it would be stuff like exercise and self-help books and, basically anything you can do to culminate yourself. And it's also like a very ego-driven sign. It can be anyway. And so this would be where you'd be like, here's my boundaries and this is what I need and want out of life, and fuck anyone that is getting in the way of that. I also feel like that Aries energy is very like I see it as like punk music and rock music and like just the anarchy and rage and like, yeah, that's Aries energy to me.
And like, I guess we should kind of also be implementing devolved and evolved maybe a little bit. But devolved just means that they're the bad traits kind of the zodiac sign, and evolved is like you're more aware of your bad traits and you don't let them take over kind of a feel. So devolved Aries is often seen as very selfish. And they are all me, I only matter, get away from me, all of that kind of stuff. Whereas if you think about it, the opposite sign of Aries is Libra, and they are focused all on relationships and togetherness and stuff like that. Whereas the Aries is just, I am the only thing that matters kind of a feel. We're having robocalls, so I apologize. So yeah, I think that stems up planets. You said all that, the house, that's everything for Aries, I think.
Yeah, too, though, real quick. So when you were talking about the devolved versus evolved, what that also kind of means is like everybody goes through that cycle of life. So like, for instance, if you're an Aries rising, you will always start out at a more devolved sense, and then once you kind of grow and culminate that sign throughout life, that's when you'll realize like, actually this was like the more ego-centric part of my energy, and here's the more spiritual side of my energy and how I can use that for good.
So true. Yeah.
So when we're talking about that going forward, that's what we mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next sign is Taurus, and oh wait, we forgot to say Aries is a fire sign, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, fire signs are creative, passionate, aggressive, all of those things. So that's also the whole theme of Aries. Okay, now into Taurus. Taurus is the second sign in the second house, and Taurus is an earth sign, and it is a fixed sign, and it is ruled by Venus.
So people with Taurus energy, I'm a Taurus rising, but people that have like Taurus sun, moon, or rising, you guys are the ones that are like, I enjoy comfort. I want food. I want my soft blanket, my comfortable clothes. I want to snuggle up. Like, I literally showed up in my pajamas to work today. Like, this is normal Taurus energy. I'm surrounded by blankets and pillows and everything everywhere. The main thing with Taurus is, like, it's the most fixed of all of the fixed signs because it's earth and it's stubborn. It's just like that. But in our little fixed energy, we are very comfy. And we make other people feel very comfy in this energy if you're around it. Like, I guess I get a whole, like, imagery when I have people that have Taurus energy. We have a friend in our little coven that has a Taurus moon, and me and her, it just ends up like, whoops, we are accidentally snuggling on the love sack together, you know? Like, that's just how our energy is. We're very snuggly, cuddly, comfort. We want stability and love. Everything is about love with that. But we're very stubborn. We're very like, no, I'm not going to back down with this. And if you back me into a corner, I'll be that bull in a china shop and I'll fuck up your whole world kind of a feel. That's all I got.
Okay.
I just spit everywhere.
This is fun. Okay, so since Taurus is the second house rules material gain. It rules manifesting, and it rules stability. It also rules siblings. Ooh, we should also talk to you about the body parts. Because Taurus rules the neck. Mm-hmm. Okay, what is Aries? You're better. You know this one.
Head.
Aries is head. Okay,
yeah.
So Taurus is neck. Ooh, yeah, and that's also too how you can kind of explain, like, if you're a Taurus rising, you might have a very prominent, thick neck.
Or you get kinks in your neck a lot, like stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes. So, okay, so I think that the probably the devolved part of Taurus is that unrelenting stubbornness and unwillingness to open your mind and listen to the advice or other perspectives that people are trying to give you. I don't have any Taurus in my chart, but I have a lot of experience with Tauruses, and that is the number one thing that me being an Aquarius really pisses me off about Tauruses, because they just they refuse to listen, I would say. And another thing too,
you're just like, so or like, oh, are you gonna yell at me for that?
I was looking at you to see if you related to that. I didn't know you when you were devolved, so anyway, both of my kids are Taurus risings, and every single prominent relationship I've ever been in was with a Taurus, so that's how I see it. I see them as they just won't effing listen.
Anything.
Yeah.
Yes, and they won't do anything.
I think let me
Is.
I'm going to defend us in this aspect. I listen, but I will pretend like I'm not listening and then apply it on my own and say that it was my idea.
Fuck yes. No, that is so goddamn true. My kids and every freaking relationship will do this, because I give such great advice, but they will not admit it's my advice. Like, they will do it later on in life and then be like, look at this great thing I just thought up all on my own.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, no, you
I
did
see
not.
this because my boyfriend and I are both Taurus risings, and we both do this to each other, and he'll like flat out, I told you to do that, and I'm like, meh, like whatever. So yeah,
man,
we're
okay.
very stubborn. It's fun.
Anyway, the more evolved side of Taurus is creation. Oh my god. So one thing I remember talking to Claire about this is that especially if you're a Taurus rising, your soul's goal in this lifetime is to make what's inside of you formidable for other people to view. So whether that be painting, drawing, like any type of creating that you can think of, your job is to manifest that, because you are showing the rest of the world how to take something inside of you and form it into reality. That is the soul's purpose of Taurus. So if you are a Taurus and you're looking to evolve yourself, be thinking along those lines of like, I don't, like you, for instance, an example I could take is like, you're super creative. You're creating things all day, every day. You're creating your own business. You're creating this very like self-sufficient, independent workhouse system thing. And you're constantly creating when you're talking on camera and stuff like that. So you're on that path, I would say.
Thank you. I don't see myself as that, but thank you. Like, I don't think it's creative.
Well, but think about it from other people's perspective. So to someone else, you are taking what's inside of them and you are forming it into reality. Like you're doing when you're talking, like that's why she's so good at talking about the personality traits of each sign, because she's taking what we all feel and she's forming it into these words that we can all understand. And Taurus is great at doing that.
Yay.
Okay, are we done with Taurus, you think?
So it's an earth sign. Fixed, yeah.
Ooh, which means, okay, when you're thinking about the cycle, so Aries would start the project, and then Taurus would keep it going. So Taurus would be like that person that keeps rolling the ball, just like monotonous every day, like I'm going to keep rolling it and rolling it and rolling it and rolling it. Yes, routine is huge for a Taurus.
Yeah. I get very annoyed because I'm an Aquarius. I actually talk to a lot of Aquariuses that also have Taurus placements. And you kind of have to get over yourself with this, is because most Aquariuses are like, fuck routines, I don't want to do anything, but I had to like let go of it because I have to have a routine. I am so annoyingly routine based. It's bad. I eat the same thing every day. I do the same things like for before every session and after every session. I have to have those routines or shit doesn't work.
Which goes along with the stubbornness too, and that's why she said when you feel like when somebody takes you out of your comfort zone, fucks up your routine, takes away your comfy blanket, tells you can't eat this brownie, that's when a Taurus freaks the fuck out, because you're fucking with their comfortability. Yeah,
like anytime I've ever had to move, I usually take at least like 2 weeks off the week before I move, because all my shit is packed and I'm uncomfortable and I can't like function, and then the week to get all of my stuff unpacked and put together to be comfortable again. Like, it's such a long process, and Taurus energy is so fucking slow and I hate it, but yay. So yeah, that's Taurus. Next we have
Gemini. So, okay, Gemini is the third sign, and it is also the third house. Gemini is an air sign, and Gemini is a mutable sign. So air signs are more logic, thinking, communicating information, and Gemini is the sign of the third house, which is communication and information. And Gemini is also a mutable sign, meaning that, like we just talked about, Aries would start the cycle, Taurus would keep it rolling, and then something comes in and fucks that up, and
that's the Gemini.
You have you have Taurus over here freaking the fuck out about it. You have Aries over there freaking the fuck out about it, and then you have Gemini going, "It's all good, like we'll fit,"
Yeah.
So like Gemini's are more flowy.
Yeah.
When it comes to the cycle. Okay, so personality.
So this is the most hated sign besides Scorpio. I'm being honest. Like, so
True.
we know a lot of bad stuff about Geminis. That's just the way that it is. So let's get this out of the way right away. Like, they talk way too much. They think they know everything. But the thing is, the Geminis, they know just like a little bit about everything. Whereas like, you take like a Taurus or probably even an Aries, now that I think about it, will we like pick one thing and we're like, we know everything about this thing. Whereas Geminis are like, I know this, I know that, I can talk to every single person, I can blah, 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 like, and just very communication, information. Like, it's overwhelming at times, and it's very hard to follow for like those with slower energy like me. I mean, I'm not with my Aries moon, but it's hard. Geminis are hard to keep up with. They're hard to follow. They're very flaky at times. You never know what you're going to get when you have a Gemini like come into your life. The perfect example for this is I went to a Super Bowl party this last weekend. Was that last weekend? Yeah. And it was me and my boyfriend and our friend, and it was a Libra, Aquarius, and a Cancer. Everything was good. Everything was chill. We had a Gemini there, but he was sleeping in the corner. That was fine. And then another Gemini came in and was insane, like loud, drunk, crazy. And I immediately was like, I need to go. I want to go home. I don't like this anymore. I'm uncomfortable. Like, and so we ended up leaving because Gemini, like, it's a wild card. A lot of the time, you have no idea what you're going to get when you get to this, because the way that I like to describe it is because it's an air sign, it takes up like all of the air in a room. It could be the speck of dust on the ceiling over there, or this tiny little fart over here. Like, it could be anything. But when it's like, when you think of like the fixed sign, this is the balloon inside of this room where we are in control of whatever's in this balloon. And then the cardinal aspect of air is the wind that is moving stuff. So you have so much to choose from to whatever the Gemini could be. So that's why it always seems so unstable to people, because they are the most fluid with their emotions. We're like, oh, I'm happy. Oh my God, I'm so mad. Oh my God. Like, it's just constant, all over the placeness that can exhaust a lot of people. So if you have Geminis in your life, like I grew up with Geminis, my mom, my sister, my best friend, all growing up, like everyone in my life was a Gemini, and I got very used to being like, okay, this is what we're doing now. All right, we're over here. Okay, we're done. Like, you got to learn to be flexible when you're around them. They'll keep you on your toes, that's for sure.
Yeah, so my brother is also a Gemini. If he watches this, I'm calling you out. And yeah, I completely agree with that. It's like a constant, all over the place, and hard to keep up with. And you're totally right too. A frustrating part about a Gemini is that thing that they have all this information about everything, which is also what makes them flaky, because they can't ever focus their energy on one thing. So they will be like, oh, I want to be a radio DJ, and I'm going to do this for like 2 months, and now I'm bored. Okay, now I'm going to be a freaking politician, and I'm studying this. Okay, now I'm bored. Now I'm going to be a freaking doctor. Okay, so they're like all over the place. They can't make up their mind ever. They're very indecisive too. And why that makes them flaky is because they'll do that. So they'll be like, well, I'm going to hang out with my friend over here. We're going to go do this. We made plans. But then at the last minute, they're like, actually, I'm not feeling it, so I'm not going to do it. And then they piss off a lot of people. And so it's hard for them to keep and maintain solid relationships because of that. So that's more of like the devolved side of Gemini, I would say, like before, when you're pretty lost to it. So the more spiritual side of Gemini is it is the sign of the twins. So you have basically, I guess I want to think of it as like the devil and the angel on your shoulder. Yeah. That is Gemini energy. You have your higher self, and then you have your ego self.
Your
and
dark
Gemini,
passenger.
yes, and Gemini is like a constant like yin and yang of that. So when you're evolving yourself, your job is to get to know that higher self, and that's what you have to focus your energy on. So basically it is taking like, okay, I'm going to find out all this stuff, but ultimately all this information that I'm acquiring is going towards this one thing though. So it's just channeling for Geminis. They need to channel their shit into this.
Yeah, and it's hard. Like, my sister is a Gemini sun, Gemini moon. So when you have that double Gemini energy, and then her rising sign is Virgo, so everything is muted. So when you have muted energy, people like this mold into other people that have strong placements and stuff like that. So someone like her, sorry Danny, I'm calling you out big time right now, but like she is easily falls into like, oh, these are my best friends, and then they consume her completely and then spit her back out. But she's doing a lot better. She's not always like this, but like I've seen it happen in the past a lot, and it happens with a lot of Geminis where like, oh, I got caught up in this adventure and blah blah blah, and then it's like, oh man, where's your fucking identity? Find you, like that's the main thing with Geminis, is that they get caught up with people that sweep them away to craziness.
Yeah, they and then you're right, when they get spit back out of it, they can feel really depressed and like it's that they so lost far themselves.
Down. Yeah, it's such a gross feeling.
Okay, so Gemini also rules the third house, which is all about communication, information. This would also be like your teenage years if you're thinking in like a growth aspect. So like, Aries would be like the little baby toddlers. That's why Taurus rules siblings, because if you think about when you get into like your, I don't know, like 6, 7, 8 years in your childhood, that's usually like where you're starting to get to know your siblings and forming those like relationships and connections and stuff. Then you get to Gemini, which is more of that like teenage spirit, that like, fuck you, I know everything about everything, and finding yourself, finding your groups of people, talking about your ideas. That's a huge thing with Geminis, and
it rules arms, hands. That's the body for part with that.
So would you say that, because I know like I've heard people talk about that with your rising sign can kind of like describe what you look like. So maybe if you're a Gemini rising, you have very prominent shoulders, or like,
I wonder if Taurus rules this, because I have fucking football shoulders. Like, I've always thought that. Like, why was I made with just like fucking linebacker? Like, God. But no, like my
hands, hands,
like the hand models,
I don't know. I can't think of any Gemini risings. So,
wow, me either.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Next.
All right. So, the fourth sign is Cancer, and Cancer rules the fourth house, and Cancer is a cardinal sign. So here we're starting the cycle again. So this would be in the midst of summer for us here in America, which by the way changes if you live on the other side of the world, but we don't need to talk about that. So in America, this would be the summertime. This would be the summer solstice type of energy. So this is cardinal, starting that whole cycle. Cancer is a water sign, and what else? Water sign, cardinal, fourth house.
What's the fourth house?
Okay, so fourth house rules family, home life, mother, and it also rules ancestral stuff and karma, and basically your emotional ties to that. Oh fuck. Okay, so we talked about Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, by the way, which is the information planet. Now into Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon. So Cancer is a very cycle-oriented planet, actually. So, or a sign. So if you are a Cancer, you have any Cancer placements, you're very in tune with the moon and the cycles of the moon. Okay, personality.
Just Cancer energy in general. This is a lot very similar to Taurus energy, but with emotion. So they like to be comfortable. They're very focused on food. They want that home comfort kind of a feel. my boyfriend has a Cancer moon, Taurus rising. He's all about feeding you, making sure you are comfortable, blah blah blah. And then like my other friend Caleb, who is a Cancer with a Taurus rising, he like always has such an inviting home. He's very like, it's very like, my home is where my heart is, and you can come in here and I'm going to take care of you and love you and feed you and all of that. Like, Cancer energy is very moody though, so you have to kind of devolved way of that is that, oh my God, people with Cancer placements, especially in their teenage years, it's like, get the fuck away from me, you are insane, kind of a feel. Because they're so, like, they do not understand their emotions.
Boundaries, they don't understand
boundaries.
boundaries.
That too. They want to fix everyone, they want to help everybody. So you have to, it's almost a requirement if you are a Cancer placement, figure out your own damn emotions first, and then if you can take on anybody else, then maybe, but understand your boundaries for the most part.
Okay, a lot of the Cancer placement people, I know one devolved trait I constantly see is that Cancers expect everyone around them to know what they are feeling. And when you don't know what they're feeling, they fucking throw a fit.
Yep.
So like me being an Aquarius, and I actually have quite a few like really close friends that are Cancer, so which I'm getting better about this, but past Erika was very good at just like, I feel weird, so I'm just gonna like fall off the face of the earth and not exist to anybody for a while, and my Cancer friends would just flip the fuck out. Like, that meant that I hated them, that meant that I didn't love them, and did you know I was going through a hard time right now? No, I didn't know that. Well, you should have. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing. So, yeah, so that's a devolved. Also, that mothering energy, like she was talking about, Cancers are the ones where they're, like, seen as the mother of the friend group. So, like, if you're going out to the bar and there's a Cancer involved, the Cancer is going to be the one that makes sure you're drinking enough water, make sure you get McDonald's when you're done, make sure you get home safely. Yeah, Michelle. They're the ones that... Yeah, they take care of everybody. They're a very caring sign, and they're moody because they are ruled by the moon. And the moon moves pretty fast, so... Their emotions move pretty fast, too. So one day they could be feeling all right, and then the next day they're, like, wallowing in a huge depressed state. They clam themselves up. Cancer is also a crab.
Yeah. So
they kind of clam themselves up and, like, pull out their pinchers and, like, fuck you, you know? Yeah. And,
I don't want to talk about my feelings. Let's talk about yours. I want to fix you instead.
They don't want to talk about their feelings, but they want you to just know and bring it up yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So
they cry a lot, too.
Yeah, they cry a lot.
All the time.
Yep. But the cool thing about the fact of this water sign is that it can also be on land, which is why Cancer energy is so moody, because you can dive into the ocean and be in all of the tears and crying, but you can also get up on land and get shit done.
Because they're cardinal.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why it's the sign of the mother, too, if you think about it, because that's how a mom has to be. A mom has to be a very emotional person. She has to be very empathetic. She has to suck up the energies of her children, but she also has to get shit done. She can't just wallow around in her emotions all the time. She has to take care of some fucking kids, you know? So, yeah.
Speaking of that, Cancer rules the boobs. Well, this is mother.
Do you know any Cancer? Oh my God, that's so funny. I was like, do you know any Cancer rising? So my boyfriend's a Cancer rising.
Isn't she?
She's got a boob job too.
And my boyfriend hates his boobs. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's a Cancer rising?
Yeah, and he's very like, he's very what's the word I'm looking for? Like insecure about his pecs.
My ex's mom was a Cancer. She'd cry and she's like, I'm gonna go make food. And then, like, her house was always really nice. And she also has a boob job. So, she's super Cancer.
Yeah. My Cancer friends have, I don't know, I think everybody has nice boobs.
Okay, next sign.
And Cancer is also very heart chakra, so that would make sense, too.
Yeah, love.
Okay. Anyway, so then now we're going to get into the fifth sign. And the fifth sign is Leo. And Leo also rules the fifth house. Leo is a fire sign. Leo is a fixed sign. And Leo is ruled by the sun. So, okay. So go ahead with the personality on that.
Okay. So, most Leo sun signs and, well, even moon signs now that I know a Leo moon, you're very loud. You're very prominent. You come in with a presence demanding to be taken seriously and listened to, and it's not as intense as Aries. So, like, because I can feel my intensity when I come in with my Aries moon. I can be like, rah, 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 and then I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But with the Leo, they come in and they go, rah, and then they don't apologize for it because they're like, this is who I am. Fucker, better fall in place, you know? So, Leo energy comes in with this just like fixed energy to be like, we have all of this stuff to do. Fall in line, listen, let's get going kind of a feel. They are the like spotlight people, the people that if you need somebody to be an extrovert, more than likely they have Leo placements like this. Devolved parts of Leo, they're selfish. They only care about themselves, but
shallow.
Yeah. And like, yeah, talk about
Vain.
So annoying, boring stuff. Like, so Leo is Aquarius's opposite.
So we're probably gonna
we're gonna
sorry,
probably bag on you
Leos.
guys a little bit. Because like with us, we're like, oh my God, we are so smart about all of this stuff, and then Leos come in and they're like, why the fuck are you talking about stupid Star Trek? I don't give a shit. I dated a guy. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story. I dated a Leo, and it was like fucking 4:00 in the morning, and I was like trying to go to sleep because I had to go, like, I had sessions the next day, and I woke up and he's like blaring Star Trek, like laughing and like saying the shit along with it, and then he was like, ha ha ha, this guy on Star Trek did this, and I'm like, I turned to him, I was like, I'm done. I threw $20 at him. I was like, get the fuck out, I can't deal with you anymore. Like, I'm not joking. Sorry if you're watching this. Like, I can't deal with Leo energy because it's just annoying to me. It doesn't make sense because they are selfish in their way of thinking, at times. Whereas the Aquariuses are like, how can we bring everybody together and think about all of us all together? Whereas Leo is like, this is how I am going to go forward.
So my best friend growing up was Leo, and she actually has a lot of Leo placements, and so she used to be like the selfie queen, I bet you if you found every selfie she's ever taken since high school, I mean, even back when we had those old stupid cameras, you know, that you couldn't even see yourself in, still had like hundreds of them, right? So
I did that too.
Yeah, but it's like a whole different way. She was just very like vain, and everything was all about like how cute everyone thought she was, and like this, that, and the other. And now she's really into like makeup and like,
ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So to me being an Aquarius, it was like me always dogging on her for that. Was like, who gives a shit? Like, who cares what you look like? Who cares if everyone thinks you're hot? There's so many bigger problems to worry about in the world. And that's where we always kind of like, you know, danced around with each other in that aspect. So, okay, Leo's the 5th house. Leo's very creative. So that's what is the great thing about Leo. The evolved Leo is very authentic and creative and brings something new and fresh to the table. And this is where you need to be evolving towards, especially if you're a Leo rising. Your job in this lifetime is to create such a creative, authentic space that you make everyone else feel comfortable to be who they really are as well. So yes, devolved Leo, very egocentric. Evolved Leo, very authentic. In all the realms of their personality and their soul, and everything is very authentic. They're also a fire sign, so again, with that passion and creativity. And they're the sign of the lion. They're very prideful. They care about their pack. If you have a Leo as a friend, they will love you and care about you and make you feel great about yourself. If you're in a relationship with a Leo, they will do the same thing. They really want to make everyone else feel special too. And they want everyone to feel comfortable about who they are. So they will kind of pinpoint those things about yourself and show you how you are uniquely you and how you are special.
And their love is, like, fierce and intense, and it feels amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whereas, like, us, Aquariuses, we can be cold, and, like, sometimes you don't even know if we love you, you know? So that is one thing that I love about Leos, is that, like, you never can question if you are loved by a Leo. You will fucking know.
Dude, totally. That makes so much sense. Like, even my best friend that's a Leo, even though we live so far away from each other, she always, like, gets my kids presents and, like, comes and visits me, and, like, she's amazing.
Yeah, Leos are such good gift givers.
I love them.
Yeah. So, that's the good part about being opposites. Like, we see all of the things that you do. We appreciate it. We need you.
We wish that we could culminate. Like, you are the piece of us that we wish we had.
Yeah.
That's how every opposing sign looks at each other.
But yeah, Leo, it says that it rules heart, spine, spinal column, and upper back.
Okay. And then also whoa.
What?
I wonder if where your Chiron is, in which sign that is, if that would rule like pain that you have, because I have back problems and that's where my Chiron is. Anyway.
Now I have to look at mine. Arms, lungs, hands, nervous system. Mm.
So I'm probably
I'm not
onto something there.
Nope.
Okay. Anyway, or something. Oh yeah. Also, the 5th house rules children too. So that just again that authentic, playful,
happy family.
Oh God, yes. And Leos are so good at partying because they're so fun, and so are little kids. You know. So yeah, I think that's all I got to say about that.
Leos have the best hair.
Oh yeah.
Because the manes,
Yep.
the lion's mane.
They're good. Next is Virgo.
Okay, so Virgo is the 6th sign, and it rules the 6th house, and I hate the word 6th. Virgo is, so this is where we had Cancer as the cardinal, Leo is the fixed, now we get into Virgo, which is the mutable sign. It is also an earth sign, and it's, I guess we could kind of talk about which things like kind of ruled a little bit. So Virgo is like the hermit card of the tarot. Yeah, okay.
So Virgo personality types are the ones that have OCD. They're very attention to detail, very like anal about certain things. Like you will know if you walk into a Virgo's house because it is spotless, and they're the type of ones to be like, oh, sorry about the mess, when it's like, oh my God, they're ridiculously clean in there. Virgo placements like love to clean. They find comfort in cleaning. They find, like, again, like the OCD thing is very prominent. Any time I'm doing any sort of birth chart on people, if I see a Virgo placement, that's the first question that I ask is, what's your OCDs, you know? So some people are like, I have to make sure that things are very clean, or I have to make sure that, like, my food doesn't touch, or blah, blah, blah. You know, like, there's some sort of OCD that's going on with Virgo placements. The other thing is that, like she said, the hermit card. So, Virgos tend to literally shut everybody out. Mm-hmm. They are the type of people that would love to live in a cabin in the woods and not have to deal with humans ever again. They do not like people a lot of the time. When in reality, they are the smartest, I feel, of, like, everybody. They are the wisest. They can take in so much energy and information because they're ruled by Mercury, just like Gemini, whereas Gemini is all like outward, like kind of energy, and Virgo is all inward, can take it in and actually do something with it. Like, I don't know. I envy a lot of Virgo type of energy. I don't have any Virgo in my chart at all, but whenever the moon is in Virgo, I'm like, oh, God, I forgot that I have to clean my house, you know, and I remember to clean or something because I don't ever think about that stuff. So people with Virgo placements that are in my life, they are so needed because I don't know how to function like that, and I appreciate those people a lot.
Okay, so Virgo rules the 6th house, and the 6th house is actually, so we're getting into the end of the first half. So this is all of the, if you haven't noticed so far, every planet that has ruled each of these signs that we talk about are the ones closest to Earth. So these are the more like very strongly apparent to us type energies. They are very inner. Anyway, so we get to the 6th house on the zodiac wheel. And the 6th house, it rules routines. It rules work. And so there's a difference. We'll talk about work when we get to Capricorn. But the difference is that Virgo type of work is like Capricorn type of work is like career. Virgo type of work is like I do my dishes, and then I take my vitamins, and then I do my yoga, and then chores, what you have to get done around the house, what you have to get done to take care of your body, that kind of stuff. So a devolved Virgo energy would be they can be stubborn too. They are very wise, and they do hone that information into themselves. So it's almost like if you're getting into an argument with a Virgo, they'll be thinking inside their head about how stupid you are, but they'll just walk away from the conversation because they already know that you're stupid, and they don't need to tell you you're stupid. So they'll just be done with you. Yeah. Without ever giving you any freaking reason why. Like, you'll be like, what the fuck did I do? Like, in their head, they're just like, you're a dumbass. So,
Yep.
okay, so that can be one thing. Also, they can be too perfectionist, so they can be too hard on themselves, and they can crumble under that. So, like, if something isn't done exactly the right way, or it isn't good enough to their standards, that can lead to the more, like, depressed,
and anxiety.
energy.
Like,
Yeah, and anxiety.
It can cause them to have massive anxiety if something isn't going their way.
And social anxiety too is
Oh,
a
yeah.
huge thing. Like, also Virgos can build the most beautiful, well-inviting, clean, fresh-feeling homes, but they don't want to fucking let anybody in there because then they'll fuck it up. So
Yep.
you might not ever get to know, you know. But the evolved part of Virgo, like what the whole representation of the soul part of Virgo, especially if you are a Virgo rising, is that you are the sign of Jesus himself. And so Jesus is like it's almost like, you know, cleanliness is close to godliness, and let's walk the Christ-like life. We are going to try to be Christ-like. That's what a Virgo is supposed to do. They're supposed to show everyone the way, like be the Yahweh.
The wise, like, I don't know, Buddha on the...
Lead, like, okay, yeah, like, they would be, like, the sages and the gurus. They would be the ones that you would come to show you how to best embody godliness. So that's what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be evolving their soul to be as close to God as they can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Virgo, actually, it says that it rules the digestive system, intestines, and spleen. Which makes complete sense because most Virgo energies that I get, that I encounter with, they have anxiety and it fucks up their stomach a lot of the time. So
yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Next is Libra.
Yeah, and Virgo is a mutable sign. I think did we
yeah, and
that?
Earth. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, next is Libra. So now we're starting the next half of the zodiac wheel here. So Libra is the 7th sign, and it rules the 7th house. And it would be, it's a cardinal sign, so it's starting in the fall. So now we have the fall energy. Yeah, autumn, fall. And, whatever. And
I was thinking like autumn equinox. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. Okay, anyway, so Libra is a air sign. It is a cardinal sign. It rules the balance. So this is where you have the balance. Okay, I'm having a hard time thinking here.
Oh.
This is my rising sign, so, you know, I'm super knowledgeable about it. 7th house. Okay, so 7th house. Oh, yeah, the planet. It's also ruled by Venus. And it's very relationship oriented. It is very so if you have Aries is the other sign of Libra, right? So Aries would be starting this whole thing. It's all about you. It's all about self-identity. Now Libra is starting the second half of the cycle in the relationship house of the 7th house. Now it's about like, okay, there's you and there's me. How can we balance each other out? How can we all cooperate with each other? How can we
find
harmony, peace, and balance in the whole world? And they're the signs that would be like really great lawyers. They're really good at arguing. They're really good at seeing all sides of things and all different perspectives of things and bringing it together. And yeah, we'll go into the personality stuff.
So I guess the most common thing that everybody always says about Libras is that they can't ever make their mind up. They are hard decision makers. Good prime example to this. Sorry, Cho, if you watch this. First date that I went on with him, I have never seen someone so anxiety ridden just to pick what to order from the burger place that we went to, and he worked himself up so much he couldn't eat it. Like, so it actually took like a good like 8 dates for him to actually be able to eat, because the anxiety that happens within them to do all these like decision making. Oh my God, I have to be in people. Like, Libras can, when they're out of balance is when a lot of like bad stuff can happen. And what I have seen majority of Libra energy is that the out of balance happens and then they start with some sort of an addiction. So this could be drinking, smoking, sleeping. Oh my God. Libras can sleep for like 14 hours straight and no problem. And they are like comatose out. It's bad. They'll just like fucking fall asleep out of nowhere kind of a feel. So, what else? But the cool thing about that, like she was saying, the good lawyers and stuff like that, like they have the ability to be like, play that devil's advocate, to be like, oh, well, you know, Claire, you should look at it from their point of view when I'm being my Aries and me like, no, you know?
It's all about my point of view.
So, it's needed. And, what else about Libras? Like, the love that Libras give, it's a lot, like, similar to Leo's, but Leo's is more intense. Libras is so much more, like, subtle and just, like, constant.
Romantic.
Yes, romantic. Cheesy as fuck. But, yeah, let me think. Very creative. They are very, like, they're the charmers. They're the ones that, like, want to be beautiful and seen so beautiful and, like, look at what I'm wearing. Like, yesterday I was at the radio station and Laura, one of the co-hosts on the morning show, she's a Libra, and she was like, hey, can we take a video and can you make sure to get my whole outfit in? I look fucking awesome today. And it's like, that's such a Libra thing to say, to be like, look, I pulled this all together by myself, you know? But that's how it is. Like, they are very, like, pleasing to the eyes, and they want to be. Like, they're the type of people that will be like, oh, I have all of these, like, outfits for the bedroom, and then I have all of these outfits for, like, going out, and, like, just stuff like that. Like, my boyfriend has, like, 225 t-shirts.
Yeah, so I, like, okay. So,
I'm hot.
Sorry. Okay, so Libras, yes, like she said, we like to see the beauty in the world. Like a really good word that pops into my head for Libra is aesthetic.
Yeah.
What does it feel like, you know? They're the ones that would be going to, like, an art show and observing it, and they can tell you exactly why it's that way, you know, or, like, how they can best describe the vibe of the art, I guess. Also, Libra, what was I going to say about this? There was something really big I was going to say about this, and now it's not coming to my head. If you are a Libra, I'm a Libra rising, so if you are a Libra rising, you want to balance out all these houses. If you ever look at your own birth chart, you'll notice that everything's flip-flop. So that's what kind of sucks about the Libra energy, is that everything can easily be tipped. Like, the scales can easily be tipped with you, and you want to keep everything in this order, and it can't always stay that way. And when everything gets tipped, you feel very messy. Like she said, you can be, like, you know, become an addict or something, or feel depressed. And, there was something I was going to say about this.
Libra energy also, like, Libra's out of stuff a lot. So, whereas Erika can, like, Aquarius zone out, but the Libra out thing, I think, is what you were applying to with your Cancer friend. Libras do this often, where they're just kind of like, and goodbye, and they're just ghost everybody, and
because it doesn't feel good.
Yeah. And if they're in their feelings and in their emotions, you have to just let them go and be like, you can kind of, like, be the whole broom thing, like, I'm here, don't forget I love you, I'm here, but you can't get them out of there for any reason.
So I think I just thought of it. So, you know, Taurus and Libra are both ruled by Venus. So the difference is that Taurus needs that comfort in the material sense. So, like, if you rip a Taurus's blanket away, it feels uncomfortable, right? Libra wants to feel comfortable in more of, like, a vibey type of sense. Like, the vibe has to feel comfortable. Otherwise, they will. They'll be the stubborn bull just like a Taurus and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yep, I think that's all I gotta say about Libra.
And they rule the kidneys, skin, lower back, and buttocks.
Oh, I actually did see that somewhere, that if you had a Libra rising, you had a nice butt.
Really?
Yeah, so Cancer is the boobs and Libra is the butt. I don't know. Okay, so now let's move on to the 8th sign of Scorpio. So Scorpio is the 8th sign. It also rules the 8th house. Scorpio is a water sign, so emotions, and it is a fixed sign, so it will stay fixed in those emotions. And it is, I guess, the Scorpion. So I like to look at it like the Scorpion's also kind of like Cancer. You know, it can roam around in the earth and stuff, but it's always down low to the ground. Like a Scorpion's always down on the ground, but it has the stinger up here that's like, so that's Scorpio. Oh god.
Oh Okay, so this is also one of the most hated zodiac signs out there, so a lot of people know about Scorpios because of that.
My poor daughters, both of them.
Oh, it's okay.
Did you know Scorpios are the most in the world? Isn't that shitty?
Because of Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Bailey just said, if you didn't hear it, that there is the most amount of people-wise, it's the most Scorpios in the world, probably because everybody's doing it on Valentine's Day.
Oh.
But, yeah.
So I guess that was me.
Way to go, Erika!
You basic bitch.
I
No.
know. My Libra rising, total basic bitch. Okay.
So, Scorpio, let's go back to this, personality-wise. So, these are the mysterious ones. You never really can truly get a Scorpio. They don't make sense to you. And so, if you have, like, the challenging aspects where, like, Geminis, Aries, probably Libra, that's all I can think of right now. Those type of people are going to be drawn to Scorpios to be like, I want to figure you out, you know? So we have a tendency to kind of be like, what is this mysteriousness? You know, these are the ones that are like, you're in high school and they're the guy that's dressed all in black that plays the guitar, where you're like, oh my God, I want to know all about him, you know? These are the Scorpios. They're the weird ones. They like dark, mysterious, creepy, weird things. And, but the coolest part about Scorpios is that they have no problem talking about anything. That's the thing that I absolutely love about all of the Scorpio people in my life, is that, like, we can go from talking about the worst possible death in their whole entire life to then talking about, like, the lightest fart in the world, you know, like nothingness. So, if you are able to kind of flow with that kind of energy, Scorpios are amazing to have around. But just like the other Mars-ruled planet or sign, Aries, they can come off very intense. So if you're a Scorpio rising, you come off as like, whoa, you are so intense, or you come off very sexual a lot of the time to people. Scorpio energy just like exudes like sex. And a lot of the placements that has to do with Scorpios, it's just like, woo, let's tame that down, you know? But I think that's all I got.
Okay, so also Scorpio is also ruled, so it's ruled by Mars, but also co-ruled by Pluto. And this is kind of ironic because remember, Pluto, there's like a lot of conspiracy about whether Pluto is really a planet or not, and such as with Scorpio,
Yeah.
it's a conspiracy with them always, and they are very good detectives. They will always get to the bottom of things. They also, when I think of Scorpio, I always think of the Phoenix, because Scorpios go down into this shadow work, the yuckiest of the yuck, and then they can transform it into something big and beautiful. They are also a water sign, so they will love you so passionately and fiercely, and they will...
It's almost like the, my precious, like
Yes.
that. It's like obsessive love kind of a feel.
Because they'll love you unconditionally. They will love every dark nook and cranny of you.
Warts
of who
and
you
all.
are. Yes. So that's what's great about being loved by a Scorpio, but what kind of sucks about this is when they're down in that deep, yucky pit, that's when that stinger comes out, because they just want to sit in that pit. They don't want anybody to fuck with it, and they will come out when they feel like coming out. So you have to leave a Scorpio alone when they're going through that. So their soul's purpose is to be doing that for themselves, constantly transforming. If you are a Scorpio or have a Scorpio rising, you will go through a lot of very ugly, transformative things throughout your life. It also rules the 8th house, which is death. So again, transformation. It also rules other people's resources. So also that's another thing that Scorpio is really good at. It's really good at utilizing resources from everyone and everybody to figure out how to... Like, if you can't figure out how you're going to do something with your life, ask a Scorpio. They'll figure it out. They'll know 10 people who can help you, you know?
That's true.
So their soul's purpose in this lifetime is to be transforming themselves and also be transforming other people. So if you are a Scorpio, your role to play in other people's lives, unfortunately, I'm sorry, is to show other people their shadows as well. Which sucks for you because, again, just like with Gemini, it's hard to keep and maintain relationships because you're constantly pulling out that ugly card from other people and being like, look, like, this is why you suck. And then those people are like, well, then fuck you. You know, I just want somebody to tell me I'm great all the time. But Scorpio,
Go
that's
see
okay.
a Leo, then.
Yeah, exactly. Because Scorpio, that's okay. That's just not your role to play in life. Your role to play in life is to be that transformative person with other people. So only be culminating friendships where you can play that role.
Yeah. And then Scorpios rule the reproductive system and sexual organs. So next,
Okay.
we're already at an hour.
Holy
so.
shit, okay, we need to go. Okay.
Next is Sagittarius.
So Sagittarius is the 9th sign, the 9th house. It is a mutable sign, so this is ending the cycle of the winter time, whatever. And it is the sign is ruled by Jupiter. I think that's it. Okay, go. Fire. It's fire.
Fire, yeah.
Okay.
So Sagittariuses are my most favoritist way to describe a Sagittarius lately has been that if you can take a Gemini and all of the craziness that I was describing, like how they take up the whole room, but you give them flamethrowers, that's a Sagittarius. Bailey's a Sagittarius. So they can be crazy all over the place, all of the things, and all of the anxiety, all of the emotions, everything. All at once. But at the same time, how do I describe this? They are so much different when it comes to like how Geminis, because Gemini is the opposite of Sagittarius. Geminis know a little bit about everything, but Sagittariuses know a lot about like certain things, and they are so freaking smart. So Sagittarius's energy, like, you will think of like, oh, this is a Sagittarius. They are so smart about this. I needed to ask them questions about this. Like, if you have Sagittariuses in your life, like, I can think of a couple besides Bailey, like, just like, oh, this is a tech person. I need to ask them computer questions. Or, oh, this is a whatever, stuff like that. What's another aspect? I do know that Sagittarius people really are prone to anxiety. Just because there's like the intenseness with the fire as well as the craziness of all of that muted energy. You have to learn how to like channel it so it's not coming out as anxiety and that can like bring calm to your life, kind of a feel. Sagittarius, the main thing is that they're the wanderlust mentality. They wander, they like adventure, they want to go and explore everything and just take off and get in the car and go, kind of a feel. And then they're the luckiest freaking sign in the whole zodiac. Like, they are ruled by Jupiter, where just things just plop into their lap of like, here's an inheritance of millions of dollars. Now go follow your dreams, stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's it.
So like you said about the reason why Geminis, they sit and they absorb all the information, the reason why Sagittarius has come off a little bit more wise than a Gemini is because it's almost like the learning by doing type of thing. So Geminis will sit there and just suck it all in.
It.
Yeah, but Sagittarius is actually get out there and do it and explore it and read it and study it, and they're the ones that's why they rule the 9th house of study and higher learning and college and religion and all that good stuff. Sagittarius's soul's purpose in this lifetime is they are the sign of the archer, with the arrow. So just like Gemini, they can get distracted on several different things and kind of have that sparkle pony syndrome where they want to go here and then they want to go there. And since they are so lucky, they always seem to win whenever they go anywhere. But they kind of have this like feeling of still feeling lost. They're like, okay, well, I could go here, I could go there, I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. So, again, just like with a Gemini, you have to channel this somewhere. So the archer can pull back his arrow and he knows he's going to hit the target, but he has to figure out what the fuck the target is. So channeling that energy into like what you're going to be doing in this lifetime, what your soul's purpose is, and then staying on that path. So even if you go here or go there, you're always going to get back onto the path.
Yeah. So Sagittarius rule hips, thighs, and liver.
Liver
alone. What? Don't you know that's off the screen? Come on. That's like a main thing.
I'm not good at remembering.
Did they put her spleen in the mailbox? I heard her put her spleen in the mailbox next to the pancreas and liver.
Nope.
Oh, man. Okay, next.
All right, so the next sign is Capricorn. Capricorn is the 10th sign. It rules the 10th house. It is a cardinal sign. So here we are starting the winter solstice and the new year. And Its planet is Saturn. Okay, so Saturn, Cardinal, Earth. It's an Earth sign. And it's also the mountain goat.
Or sea goat.
Or sea goat, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. Little mermaid with a
Goat head.
whatever.
Yeah.
Goat.
So Capricorns are seen as a stubborn goat kind of a feel. They are the workaholics. They are the people that whatever they set their mind to work-wise, they will build themselves up and climb that mountain to the top. They are known to have boxes. Capricorns will be like, this is my friend group that I party with. This is my friend group that I go to concerts with. This is my work friends. Everything has its own box and it's very separated. They can compartmentalize pretty much everything. They are non-emotional. And when they do have emotions, it's like a volcano that erupts and it's like, well, get out of the way. It's going to get really messy. Because they stuff a lot of the time because that's in their box that they put away and they're like, we have no time for this right now. And that turns into months, maybe years, and then it comes out. It's bad. That's all I got.
Okay, Capricorn is the 10th house, so this is like very career. And when I say career, people always think it's like what kind of job you do. But I mean, if you think about it, if you were to go on a date with someone, one of the very first questions that they would ask you is, what do you do? And they don't necessarily mean like, what do you do as a career? But like, how are you seen? Like, what is your public persona? Yeah, and that's what Capricorn is all about. Like, how am I seen to other people? How do
your legacy?
Yeah, your legacy, tradition, like what? Mm-hmm. So like Capricorn's also the father sign. So you have Cancer's the mom, Capricorn's the dad. That's the polarity there. So it's very masculine and like structured rules, time. System, society, all that shit is very Capricorn, and the reason why, because that's why it's a mountain goat, because it's climbing a mountain. Society is known as a pyramid. Everything is a pyramid to a Capricorn, and they want to get to the tippy top of that pyramid. So the soul's journey in the sign of Capricorn is the top of that pyramid needs to be enlightenment. So you need to be trudging through the shit to get to the top of that pyramid, which represents your enlightenment. And once you discover it, that's your persona. That's what you're going to bring back down the pyramid to the suffering humanity below you. That is the job of the Capricorn. It is to build that mountain for humanity to go towards that higher purpose. Yeah.
So Capricorn rules joints, skeletal system, and your knees.
Okay, I mean, I feel like we could talk so much about every sign, but there's just no way, so I'm sorry if the last part of it's going too quick. Okay, so next is Aquarius. Aquarius is the 11th sign. It rules the 11th house. Aquarius is an air sign. It is a fixed sign, and it is ruled by Uranus, or Uranus, and it is the weirdest sign out of all of them, hardest to understand. Hi.
So, Aquarius is, like she said, we're the weird ones. We're the ones that, we're the aliens. We do not fit into society. We are the one, like, so the prime example with this, even though Billie Eilish is a Sagittarius, but she's also an Aquarius moon.
That's me!
Yeah.
So, if you know Billie Eilish, like, she's a total trendsetter coming out of, like, you have weird hair, you are wearing boy clothes, you do whatever the fuck you want. Like, that's that Aquarian energy just kind of like pooping out of her, you know? So Aquariuses are known for like being know-it-alls. There's actually sayings that go with each sign, and of course I only know the Aquarius one, and it is, I know. So we say that a lot because we think we know a lot. And we do, but I mean, in reality, we do have a little bit of a big head sometimes. What else? Aquarius is, we are aloof. We can zone the fuck out a lot of the time. We can be flaky too. I could go on forever about this.
Yeah,
I don't even
too.
know what else to say, but that's pretty much the gist. Like, good Aquarian energy is bringing people together, like helping people, and together wise, like networking in an amazing way to like help other people. And yeah.
Aquariuses have a reputation of not having emotion, so that could be seen as like the more devolved side of it. But really, actually, Aquarians do have like huge amounts of empathy. It's not so much emotions, but it's empathy. They can see how you feel and they can understand how you feel. They just have to make logic out of it. So they
scientifically prove it.
Yeah, they zoom the fuck out on the whole emotion that you're stuck in the moment of, and they can be clear up here looking at it from this outer perspective and like looking at it all logically and how it makes sense. They're very system thinkers. That's why they're the second to the last of the zodiac, because they are very close to enlightenment. They see how everything works. They see why this is this way and why that is that way, and they can make sense of it all like no one else can. So the soul's path of Aquarius is to be that water bearer for humanity, show them it's utopia basically. Like Aquarians are supposed to build that utopia. They can see how to get there. They can see what all needs to change. They can see the most perfect government structure. They can see the most perfect society. They can do that in their head. So that's their goal, is to try to culminate that for everyone. Like I can think back to when I was a teenager, and I was the type of person that hung out with a few people out of every single clique. So I was that like common ground between all of them. If a jock wanted to talk to a pothead, they knew that they could talk to that pothead through me, you know? Yeah. So like, yeah, that's what you should be doing if you're an Aquarius.
Yeah.
And just like Gemini, they are very informational technology too. They're also very quick moving sign, but they're, instead of being all over the place, they're more fixed with it. So like a Gemini will learn a little bit about everything, and Aquarius will like me learn everything there is to know about astrology and then move on to everything there is to know about meditation. You know, like they'll really dive through it before they move on to the next topic.
So the funny thing about that, I wanted to say, because you're an Aquarius sun, Aquarius moon, she's extra about
and
this.
Mercury and Saturn.
Well, so when she first started to like dabble in astrology, I remember one time I was like talking to her and she was like, dude, I was up all night watching astrology videos and I watched every single thing I possibly could. I know everything about astrology now. And I was like, damn. Like,
It's true.
But yeah, no, that's so true about Aquariuses. But
that's why we forget to like eat and take care of ourselves. Like I do that all the time because I'll just get so engulfed into something.
Yeah.
Sims.
So the Aquariuses rule ankles and shins and the circulatory system. So final, are we done?
Yeah.
Did you say that Aquarius was Saturn and Uranus?
Yeah, there's a little bit of Saturn in there, but it's mainly Uranus. But yes, Saturn kind of rules Aquarius a little bit. And that's just because the systems, again. Like Capricorn's like, here's the pyramid, and then Aquarius is like, hey, but there's millions of pyramids. Here's the big pyramid of all the little pyramids, you know? So that's where Saturn kind of comes into play with that.
You guys are bottom three of there's not a lot of you. It's like...
Oh yeah, that's another reason why Aquarians are weird. Because there's not a lot of them out there,
Sagittarius and Aquarius are in bottom three.
Huh.
And I feel like all the metaphysical stuff, because everyone I know is an Aquarius, and it's because like Sagittarius, we mesh well.
Yeah.
But we're both bottom three, and then me and Alex are talking about this. And most of the metaphysical world is all like Aquarius ran.
Yeah.
There's also like a lot of stuff out there that says Aquarius rules astrology. So yeah.
And the internet.
Yeah. But we're trying to figure out how to make internet a good thing, you know? That's
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Okay, last sign, Pisces.
So Pisces is the 12th and final sign. It is a mutable sign, again, summing up the whole winter season. Now we start again with Aries, so it's the very last one. It rules the 12th house. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. It is all about... Oh, and it's a water sign as well, so it's all about that wavy, movie, go with the flow, go with the flow of emotions, spiritual, higher connectedness of everything. So like, you know, Aquarius would be like the systems of it all, and Pisces would be like the being of it all, like all of it all.
Mm-hmm. Very hippie feel with Pisces energy. So
it's like Aquarius with emotions.
Yes, exactly. Like this is our missing link when it comes to Aquarians. Like, and I think that that's why Pisces piss us off so much, is because we're like, oh, fuck out of here with those emotions. We don't need that right now, you know. But in reality, we're missing that. So it's needed a lot of the time. But yeah, Pisces energy personality stuff is they're the main baby fit throwers. Like Cancers can throw a fit and like hide and like whine, but Pisces will full out big baby fit. So remember how we were talking about all the muted stuff, the Geminis, the Sagittarius, and then when it comes to Pisces, think of like Gemini energy, but with a lot of crying and a lot of screaming and a lot of baby fit throwing. So, and it's a lot. Too. It's very, very, very moody. Like if you say one thing and your tone is off to a Pisces, they are just like they will freak out on you, kind of a feel. So I have a really hard time with Pisces energy. I'll be completely honest. Like my dad is a Pisces, and then I have a lot of really close people in my life that were Pisces, but they come and they go, and then they come back, and then they leave because they just float wherever they can. And Pisces are the most manipulative out of everybody because you have to know you have all the 12 signs in you, and you know how to fucking manipulate everybody. You know how to scheme and wheel and deal and do all of this shit to kind of get to your advantage. But like she was saying, if you want it to be like an Aquarius with emotions, you can bring it all together with the like, let's all be at peace and love and harmony and have that hippie flowy vibe, or you could do it the complete opposite and be manipulative and whatever.
Oh, so like if Aquarius rules the internet, think about this as a metaphor. So we have the internet, right? We see this whole system and how it works and stuff, but then there's like so then Pisces would come in and like there's like a two-way street here. So we could either use the internet to manipulate people for advertisement purposes to get money, to manipulate them into escaping into it, to manipulate them into I don't know, like, I guess feeding into it kind of like in a yucky way. Or Pisces could come in and be like, but actually it's connecting us all and it's letting us all see each other's perspectives and where we all came from, and you know, getting this perspective, I guess, that we never would have gotten any other way, because like she said, it inhabits a little piece of each sign, so it can see the good and the bad of every single sign, and it can choose which one to pick on. So that's your soul's goal as a Pisces, is you can either go around and manipulate and pick on everybody's bad side and like trigger everybody, or you could go through and develop what the beauty that you see in every individuality of people out there and culminate it for them and turn it into something beautiful. Since Pisces rules the 12th house, it also rules like dreams and the outer realms. This is like this sign of like when you die and you see what it all was and you have that like real awakening. That's what Pisces rules. It also is like a very escapey type of sign, so a lot of Pisces like to be in that other realm of life and instead of coming back into reality. Yeah, so since they're like overloaded with so much emotion and all this shit from every other sign, it's really hard for them to cope with that. So yes, they like to escape from it. It's the sign of addiction for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they rule the feet and lymphatic system. So, yeah. What else? Anything else about Pisces? That's it.
Yeah, I think that we gotta stop. We've been going for too long. We could really go on about this forever.
But yeah, so that's all of the basics of astrology. So you kind of got a rundown of all the signs, planets, placements, houses, all that shit. So I apologize that this got a little bit longer than normal. It's not that bad, but whatever. But yeah, make sure to watch the first part of this. We go over how to reach us. All of the information will be listed in the comment or the description section to how to reach us and get in touch with us, do sessions, whatever.
Also, if you want to leave topics for us to talk about in future podcasts, like in astrology, we could go forever. So, I mean, if there's something specific, we could probably talk a whole hour about one little specific thing when it comes to astrology. So, this was just kind of a basic gist of the signs. But yeah, there's so much with astrology.
What's the email address that they can email at us?
sacredrebels333@gmail.com. So you can email us with any topics that you would like us to go over.
And make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, let everybody know about this podcast. But yeah, again, I'm Claire with ClaireVoyant Psychic Medium. You can look at me on all the platforms. And then
Erika with Erika Layne. I'm on Facebook is my main thing right now. I'm trying to branch out, but for now, you can find me on Facebook.
All right. Thank you all. Have an amazing day. Mwah.
Bye.